If you step into my closet, you will notice that my wardrobe is slightly boring, especially when it comes to shirts, because I wear a white shirt every single day. And this presented a challenge as my family began to grow. Because I would come home, pick up one of my kids, hold them for a few minutes, put them down, and I would find a nice big beautiful stain on one of my shoulders. And I had to change my shirt because everything shows on a white shirt. And I used to get upset every time this happened. And like, I can never pick up my kids and they always make me a mess. Why are they always so dirty? And of course, children eat. They're a mess. It's part of them being a baby. And wearing a white shirt, you're bound to get dirty, especially if you have little kids. It's the nature of the setup. And it took me a while to be able to learn to appreciate the opportunity that I was being given every single time I picked up one of my kids and I found out that I was dirty. That I don't need to focus on the fact that my shirt's dirty and I have to change it and it has to be washed. And I can just focus on the fact that I have beautiful children, and this comes with the turf of having children. And this stain that I have on my shirt is actually not a stain in a negative sense, but it's a mark of beauty. And I started telling people that when I'd have a stain on my suit jacket, which was actually dark, but I still have stains very often on my shoulders. And I would tell someone, yes, that's a sign of my beautiful, healthy, loving children. And that is truly what it is. You walk into certain people's homes and you can tell that they hired an upscale, very talented interior designer. Their home is immaculate. It is perfect. Everything matches beautifully. And everything's always in their exact place. It's almost like a museum. Whenever we walk into a home like that, we also feel like we're in, so to speak, someone else's home. We're in a museum. We're in a place where we have to be very careful. The warmth is lacking. We go into another home where there are marks on the wall, where things may be banged up a little bit. There are kids running around, but there's life in the home. We're comfortable being ourselves. We feel like we're home, even though it may not be our home. That is the beauty of stains. Stains can actually be beautiful. There are two types of tzaddikim, righteous people. There are certain righteous people who are immaculate. You see them and they have their act together. Phenomenal. They really are lined up so beautifully. They are so consumed in making sure that their relationship with God is the way it should be, that they're doing everything that God put them here to do. And that is their singular focus, and they don't let anything get in their way. They are perfect. Their relationship with God seems to be perfect. However, there is another type of a tzaddik, of a righteous person. This righteous person does not look so immaculate. They've got scuffed shoes. Their suit is a little bit creased. They've been running and coming and going. They don't quite seem to be the picture-perfect righteous person that we will sometimes envision. And the reason why is because they are not as consumed with the perfection of their relationship with God. They are far more consumed with ensuring that other people's relationship with God is reaching a better place. And therefore, they are just not focused so much on themselves to make sure that they look so immaculate. They're focused on others, and sometimes that leads to them having a crease here, a crease there, a scuff here, and a scuff there. Which righteous person is more perfect? The first one is more perfect. They spend all their time on being perfect. Which one of the righteous people are holier? The second one is far, far holier. Because when we can consume ourselves in others and not in self, we create an environment of holiness. Because, as I've explained in previous podcasts, holiness is defined by otherness. The lack of holiness is defined by selfishness or self-orientation. We can be doing all the most fantastic things. And that's fantastic because we can be off doing a lot of other things which aren't so fantastic. But it can still be self-consumed. When it's not self-consuming, we're taking ourselves to a whole new level. And this is one of the meanings of the blessing that God gave Abraham when he said, when the Torah tells us, V'Hashem berach es Avram bakol. God blessed Abraham bakol, which means with everything. And one of the meanings of this is that God blessed Abraham with the ability to be able to be concerned with everything else and not to be concerned and consumed with himself. This is an enormous blessing because this is truly how we fulfill our purpose in this world. And this is truly the context within which a human being thrives. We thrive when we are not self-consumed, but when we are other-consumed. Because when we are not self-consumed, we don't take things personally. So therefore, we don't have this negative feeling that comes over us whenever certain statements are made to us. We're not so busy consumed with ourselves that we can't be putting out to the broader universe. We are happy because happiness comes from not being self-absorbed. Everything comes from not being all positivity comes from not being self-consumed. So both of these righteous people are outstanding individuals, but one of them is far holier than the other. And God gave Abraham a blessing of not only being an outstanding individual, but being a holy individual. We need to aspire to be holier. The way we become holier is not by being immaculate, but by being consumed with the needs of others. Inherently, by being consumed with others, we are not going to be immaculate. Get used to that stain on your shirt. Get used to the stain on your suit. And know that sometimes that is a mark of you being in the right place in life. That is the mark of you being focused in the right direction. And if you're looking so sharp and starched, maybe you're just a little bit too consumed with yourself.